Hello YouTube, my name is Breesty and I decided to make a detailed explanatory guide on how to gather and kill all 9 Crocs pack plus the tigers with a consistent reproducible pull with as less RNG as possible. I personally managed to do this farm 10 times in a row without dying while hitting lockout, so if you figure out all little steps you can reproduce it over and over again. There's really little to no RNG involved whatsoever. You can find my gears and talents in the description, but you can do this with as little as 3000 HP and I'd say around 6000 mana. There is no need for special gear such as Marathon Dagger or a 5-set tier 2, which I don't have as well. And to start off, we're using a fresh ID, which you can see the reset here. We're gonna jump into the water right side of the platform, and our first aim is just to reach the end of the river. We dive into the water, dive to the bottom. If you're not on the bottom, there are like those Greg and those snake packs, and if you're not on the bottom of the water, you tend to pull those snakes, right? So you want to be at the ground and nothing can happen basically. At the end of the waterfall, we're just using slow fall to get to the spot where you want to. For this farm, the consumables you need are limited invulnerability potion, you need Nogafogger elixir for the 2-minute slow fall, some bandages, mana potions, and swim speed potions. If something goes wrong, there are good option to smoothen the fails. Okay, so we're jumping in the water. I cancel the slow fall here to not aggro those packs. I body pull this, soft counter this, use a Nova, get past them, and I body pull this, and the moment it hits me I blink out of the water so it's slowed and let them reset here. You see this? You see this berserker who's patrolling all the way up to this, like all the way. And when he's past this tree, we want to use to start Nogafogger elixir. The reason we need Nogafogger at this stage is because it has a 2-minute slow fall compared to the standard mage slow fall buff, which is only 30 seconds. But it comes in quite handy because you don't need to leave your mount to reapply slow fall, which just smoothens the run in its like whole. As well as light feathers tend to go up now in price. They are usually 15 to 20 silver pop, and Nogafogger is just a little bit cheaper, even though it has some RNG involved. So we see the berserker patrolling. I try to drink as soon as I get out of fight. He's passing it now, so I start to use Nogafogger. Sometimes it can take a while, but you have a lot of time. And the berserkers at this tree, it takes around 2.5 to 3 minutes for him to get back. So when you miss the window, just take a little break. Okay, we're starting the pulley now. Get up Ice Barrier and Mana Shield. Grab the first pack. Then we are grabbing the second pack. You can do it the other way around, but then they hit you sometimes and you can lose your Ice Barrier, which you don't want. Okay. I always play this farm with reference points. The first reference point is this. At this stage I wait for the Crocs to catch up. The reason you want to wait for them to catch up is because if you do not, then the mobs take shortcut to your current location, and it can happen that those mobs pull other mobs in the dungeon, and as soon as that happens it's over. So you need to focus on the way the mobs walk. At this spot it's quite easy, but it can come in clutch at a spot I show you really soon. So we wait for the crocs, then we do a half circle, and those are non-elites, those little cups, so even if those hit you, you won't lose both shields. You only need the shields for this situation. They wear off anyways. So at this stage we wait for the crocs to catch up, and what I want to show you is the spot where you jump. Need to wait, so we just wait for them to hit up, like this is the spot, right? We want to wait, and you want to jump at the very least position up to this point. You jump at the last spot. Sometimes it happens that you don't pull them, then you can just wait for the others to catch up. In this case I accidentally pulled them because I've been too close to the side, but it's no problem. You just continue. One important thing to notice, the movement. You want to run near this wall. If you're hugging the wall really good, the mobs tend to not hit you as much. So as you saw, my ice barrier and my mana shield just wear off, so I've got no shields for this part. You gather all mobs until this point without getting hit, and this is a place where you can get hit. So theoretically every time they hit you there's a chance that you get dazed and dismounted. I don't get dismounted in this pull, but if you do, you usually just want to Nova and keep on moving. There is no way they kill you at this point, you just keep on. So now we get at the first itchy spot, which can cause you, which in general can cause a lot of frustration. Basically there are two spots here. First, it's this berserker. So if you do not wait for those mobs, I just showed you the spots, then the mobs take the shortcut, and this will be over the platform. So they take this way over the platform and they pull this berserker. So if you do not wait properly, you pull the berserker and you destroy the pole. This is the first. The second spot is this. You can bling through this tree, but it's tricky. I saw it in a video where they dive to the bottom, which you don't have to, which I did in the first place. Then I thought you have to be on the top, and I failed always. Like, not always, but it happened that I failed once, so I tried it dry in a run, and I found out, like, you have this area, and then you have this little mark, let's call it mark, and I found that if I just swim to this mark, face it, and continue to swim and blink through it, it works. There are other spots, but this works. I just swim, blink. Okay, so far so good. If we go a little bit back, it's a little bit too much, but so you can see it again. I turn around and I can show you where those mobs walk if you fail. Okay. So if you're failing with gathering the mobs or like waiting for them properly, they walk this way. And if this berserker looks towards you, it gets pulled. And if it looks back, it doesn't get pulled. So even if you don't wait properly, there is a chance you don't pull the berserker. Just to explain to you why you don't pull it all the time, because it confused me that I pull it sometimes and sometimes not while doing the same thing. This is why. If he turns to the mobs or is looking exactly at the mobs, he's getting pulled. Okay, let's continue. At this spot we usually have time. I lost 7% through 8% through one hit, so you can just bandage here. And when they catch up, I pull them with a wand, I use blink, and right around this situation I start to use Nogafogger again. You can see that this one is at 21 seconds, it almost is gone, but you need at least this jump and this jump, I show you later. So you have two more jumps, And either you just buff yourself with 2 times slow fall, or you try to get Fogger and like get 2 birds with 1 stone, right? So what we're doing is we're jumping off the cliff. I was lucky, first Fogger got me slow fall. This jump is a little bit tricky. You want to jump a little bit if you're running at it and then jump, it won't work. So you want to jump a little bit in front of it, and then you're stuck and you can run. Okay? So I don't go right at the bamboo, I wait a little bit in front, and then you are able to jump it. I pull the crux with the wand, use blink. So here's a berserker patrolling. He's usually running this way. So if you're having a good timing, like with the fresh ID I just showed you, there's no way you encounter him anyways. If you have a bad timing, like you die, like a customer, whatever reason, you're not able to pull it off on the fresh ID, sometimes a berserker can be somewhere here. This means it can happen that you have to cut the one early. But this is not bad. Like if you just jump down here, you could either use the nifty stopwatch and a slow fall and get quite far, or you use the swim speed potion. This is actually the reason I have it here for. And if that happens, I close the run at this point. I jump into the water, get to the spot, because if you use swim speed potion right now, there is no chance you have your limited invulnerability potion up when you need it, so you cannot get the 3 more packs. So sometimes it can happen that you have to be fine with only getting 7 packs, which is awesome already. But let's see what's gonna happen. We jump down, we see our ice barrier is almost wearing off. We refresh it the moment we blink through the tree. So now we pull this fish and we pull another fish, and if the timing is good, you can let them hit on the out ice barrier, but you do not want to get hit without ice barrier. If they daze you at this situation, it's gone. So what am I doing? I refresh my ice barrier and I nova the fishes. Okay? There's the nova, then we jump up the root. This jump is really tricky. I suggest everyone of you exercise this dry. What I found out is that I strive, and it's a little bit camera angle. Let's just see again. Okay. I strive, right? And I found out that you kinda wanna watch or lean yourself towards this jump and tip tap on the top. Let's see if we can see that. So kinda lean into it with the camera, you see? I lean into it and then I go out. This helps you jump. Find a way you wanna do it. It is possible. Just exercise it right. It drives me crazy when I died with a pole on my back, because this is basically the last tricky stage and you wanna perfectionize this jump because you need it later. This is the second last pack, or like the third last. You see, Fogger is still up. Here's another reference point, this tree. If you jump left or right from this tree, you're always gonna hit the good spot. You don't need to hit this. It's absolutely fine this way. We have enough time. No need to hurry at this stage, we are almost there. So remember, we put our ice barrier up right before we jump the root. So in an optimal world, it's full. So you can get hit like 2 to 4 times by a croc. So what I do is I body pole them. And when this mob hits me the first, I jump blink. I used to jump blink because I feel that mobs tend to not hit you as often when you jump blink, as in opposed to only blink. So I body pull, jump blink. Not good. Refresh the ice barrier. We soft counter the one and let's go a little bit back. body pull, blink jump. It's not an optimal jump. And then I take the last one in target, pull it with a soft counter, refresh my ice barrier, and the moment they hit me, I use lip potion. So now I have 6 seconds. And right after this I Nova. So there is, I think, no resist to see, but one mob is free running. What we're gonna do is we want to kind of code it then. After this stage, we got all 10 packs pulled, we used our lip potion, got them all into a Nova, slowed the last crocodile, and at this point you should not get hit by any mobs anymore. So we can go to Mage Armor. Mage Armor increases our mana regeneration, so it's good for long blizzard pulls. It's not good for kind of cold pulls, where you tend to get hit. But since this is a blizzard pull, no worries, Mage Armor is perfect. Swap the Mage Armor. I strive this again, jump and then go forwards to have a perfect 90-degree angle to only jump go, to not lose time on this. It's all little steps, but it's blink of a second here, blink of a second there. They add up. Especially if you, in such big pulls, you usually don't want to make mistakes. One mistake is basically that. So let's go to the bridge. I heard some streamers already declared the rope on the bridge a boss. Shout outs to Seegers at this point. So I found my perfect sweet spot is right there. Right, you have this free room, and this is usually my spot. I do not turn on RP walk as other mages because I think you don't need it. So let me quick explain this rope. The moment you jump up, there's what I found out, there are 2 pixels. The 1 pixel, like it's let's do it this way. This is the rope. There's like 2 pixels. If you stay on the first one, not all crocs turn around. Some still walk towards you and some make a big leap. If you stand on the second pixel, it's perfect. On the second pixel, all mobs tend to move around the bridge to the other spot, so they're all in one pack again. There is no third. Means if you're on the rope and try to adjust your position and you're not on point with your movement, you fall down. If you fall down, you have to get up in the water. I usually blink. Then I get up the rope, and those mobs take the shortest way, and then I kite them all the way up, blink again, Nova them, run up the bridge. Okay? There is a showcase of this coming soon, but just for your instance. What we do is we jump on the rope, so all mobs run this way. When we jump down the rope, they converge into this point, and you have a massive pack running towards you. So, for your instance, down the bridge, mobs come there, up the bridge, they go there, or they go there. Doesn't really matter. It's just sometimes a little bit confusing, or it looks strange, but there's no risk in it. It doesn't change anything most of the time. So let's see, what am I doing? I already prepared the blizzard to not get caught off guard and use it. So at this stage I get into explanation of blizzard, because this is probably the strangest spell out of all in the whole World of Warcraft classic. It's really strange. There are 2 factors. First factor, mobs don't get slow the moment they get damaged. Mobs get slowed in some kind of spell batching window. This means that if this doesn't really line up, it can happen that a mob does run to your whole blizzard and gets not slowed at all. What can happen too, and what happens quite frequently, is that a mob runs through your blizzard and gets slowed behind your blizzard. So if I showcase this at this blizzard, right there, if I stop them, sometimes a mob gets slowed when he's at this, right? If the blizzard is stopped here and the hitbox, the mob is here, he gets slowed there, but it means it has only one slow. No new slow gets applied. This gets you into position where you only have so much time to get him slowed again, or he just sprints towards you and kills you. Keep this in mind. Every time I get a front runner, I take this front runner and my target and see if the slow wears off or not. And if it's slow, the moment the slow wears off, I do a new one. Means I jump off or down depending on the situation. Quick note, mobs come towards you, rank 1 blizzard, mob runs away from you, high rank blizzard. The simple logic is because if you have a front runner, you have to cancel your blizzard. You cannot be greedy and think for yourself, I want this one more tick of blizzard. Because being greedy like this will kill you. You cannot be greedy. You always want to be safe. I always try to juggle the mobs from this spot to this, let's say. They run towards me. Rank 1 blizzard. They ran up. They ran away from me. Max rank blizzard. This is the basic understanding on how you want to do this pull. In addition to that, you could say that when you're on the rope, the moment you jump on the rope, they have the longest way, makes it the easiest to cast a full evocation or get a full bandage off. The moment you're on the rope, I would not suggest you to use evocation or bandage down the rope, because if you're not hitting the jump, it can happen that you miss it, and then you're done, right? So you want to be in a position where you have time for the jump, and create room so you can fail one jump or even 2 jumps. And now we get to a really funny position. Remember when I told you about the rope, right? I explained to you that there's 2 things, 2 pixels, but there's the option to go from the first one to the second one is not only achieved by moving with your E, but rather by moving downside with your S. So, if you jump on the rope and the mobs do not turn immediately, and you tap to the left, you jump down more often than you would like to. So you backpedal once or twice, you kind of readjust on the rope, and this readjustment makes the Crocs turn around. Okay? And you see this immediately at this pull. Watch closely how my mage taps 2 times. Okay? Once, twice. Okay? Did you see? Okay, let's go back and show this another time. Those are the fundamentals of this pull. Okay, I jump down, they converge. I use blizzard. Slow, slow, slow. 3 ticks. Jump up, tip, okay. This is the finesse of this whole pull, what you just saw, okay? I show you once again. This mechanic is the most important one. So first, you know that the mobs get slowed behind your blizzard, which puts you into a position where you only have so much time. So the time I take for myself are 3 ticks. It's about a second. So after those 3 ticks, you want to jump on the rope, and because you can never really know if it's the good spot or not, you tap back pedal once or twice, and keep your eyes on the mobs, and when they turn, you go for max rank blizzard. This is it. Watch and enjoy. Okay, using blizzard here. Snip, snip, snip. Okay, you see? You can see I have the front runner in the target. Slow does not re-off. Okay, max rank blizzard. And okay, in the pack, fine. You can cancel, you don't need to have it 100%. Sometimes I cancel it in 80. Okay. And we have another front runners. I'm gonna take the front runner and target and see the slow. It's not gonna reapply, it's only gets slowed once. So if I don't jump off on the rope, he will catch me. And if the Croc is, let's say, at this point, even if you jump up the rope, then he will stand there and kill you. So you need to find a way to jump up the rope, like you kind of need your safe zone, you could say. Okay, let's go. Tip, high rank blizzard. And this is how you basically do it. Now, what happens if there is one mob that doesn't get slowed at all? It's probably because you kind of failed blizzard. Most of the things break down to, like, it's almost all of the time it's your mistake, and even if it's not your mistake, you kind of have to think for the others as well. It's a little bit like driving a car, right? It's not only your mistakes that can happen. Blizzard is bad at scripting in Sugurub, so you have to work with bad scripting. You just have to be better than the game then, basically. You have to know that you can't count off code at this spot, or you can't blizzard here, or you can't blink there, whatsoever. So you see, after this blizzard, I'm at 30% mana. I'm gonna use evocate while I'm on the rope, after I channeled it. And then they walk down this place. And they would hit you from down the water. Okay, what happens now is that one Croc doesn't get slowed at all, you see? Like, it was kind of fine. I would jump on the rope anyways at this timing. But this one Croc decides to not get slowed at all. So what am I doing? I jump down. It's a little bit tricky, but you can do it. So I jumped down, I blinked, and I tried to get the jump, but I couldn't quite get it, right? Oh, I fall into panic, this fish starts hit me, I have no shields, I'm already at 69%, all the Crocs are coming, I kinda go, what do I do? I use Lip Potion. 6 seconds, okay. I got 6 seconds at the stage, so I even have 1 or 2 more tries. I got Nifty Stopwatch, Lifestone. So what am I doing? I'm popping my trinket, create a little bit of room, and try to get them into Nova. This Nova allows me to readjust myself. So I think, okay, I'm fine, all of them are Nova, one resisted, Cone of Cold. There comes another one, shit. But we all know rope makes the run around. So if it's not too close at this stage, like it could be here, let's say, and it would be fine. But at some point in this area, it won't turn. So they run. And what I'm doing now is basically rinse repeating the stuff I explained to you when I start the killing part. Except that they are all lower. And at some point, below 25%, mobs get really slow. You just saw, let's go a little bit back. You just saw again the fact that you have to tip tap once or twice. Pop, pop. See? Pop, pop. Pop, pop. And look, really be really conservative with your movements here. You don't want to fall off the rope too often. I fall down one time like 5 or 6 times and managed to get them back at this point every time. So you can rinse repeat this over and over again if you execute it perfectly. If you don't miss the jumps, like the root jumps and stuff. Okay. See the mobs start to die. We are at 8:30. I started the run a little bit late, but I think you know where this is going. And here we are. 9-minute pull, Sugurub, consistent, reproducible, insane gold power. Thank you very much. Goodbye.